Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all onto this call. My name is Kapil Dhawan, and I am from Herbalife Training and Education team. A very warm welcome to all of you. So before we head into the session, let me just set the ground rules and let me just quickly share my PPT with you. Just allow me a minute. All right, here we go. So, firstly, please note that no photography, no videography allowed on this call. Yes, we have translations which are being provided on this call. It's available in 6 languages. Yes, you heard me right. It's available in 6 languages: Hindi, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, and Bengali. And if you want to click Bengali, what you need to do is you need to select the option which shows Spanish. All right. And today, if you ask me, yes, we have a topic which is something which is very important because today we are exploring an often overlooked topic, despite it being critically important. Yes, we are talking about men's health. And today on this webinar, we are privileged, we are lucky because we have two distinguished speakers. So let me just introduce them to you. So the first speaker, let me take the honor of introducing the first speaker. The first speaker is someone who's a qualified surgeon with over 30 years of experience in the medical line. And he has special interest in laparoscopic surgery in the areas of complex hernia, bariatrics, hair surgery department. And he takes a lot of interest in Herbalife as well. He's been associated with Herbalife for the past 25 years. Please welcome Executive Presence team, Dr. Sanjay Chore on the call.
Thank you so much, Kapil. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. We're so happy to have you here. And also, at the same time on this call, I am also joined by my fellow colleague. Well, she's part of the training and education team, and she's a nutritionist, pan-India nutritionist with Herbalife. She's member of Herbalife's Global Dietary Advisory Board. She's a qualified naturopathy doctor, and she's also certified in sports nutrition. Well, please welcome Dr. Bindushri Bhandari on this call.
Thank you so much, Kapil. Good evening, Dr. Sanjay Chore.
Thank you. Good evening.
Thank you. Thank you. It's lovely to have
panel with me.
It's lovely to have you, doctor. And so today it's like I'm accompanied by two doctors. It's lovely to have you both on the call. And yes, we have our lovely Herbalife family who's going to join us. So we are expecting close to 20,000 people who will be logging on to this call. I already see almost close to 8,000 people have already logged on to this call. Wonderful. Great. So starting with the topic that we have. So let's begin. So if I have to talk about, I know that we are talking about men's health in particular, doctor. And in today's fast-paced world, when we talk about, I think men often juggle between multiple roles that we see. So while navigating the pressures of career, you can say family, societal expectations, I strongly feel that men in particular, somehow they become very casual, very complacent with their health. Their health, in fact, takes a backseat. And the silent toll of, you can say, chronic stress, emotional suppression, or neglect of adequate care, and at the same time, not having the best of nutrition or having a very sedentary lifestyle, it has just led to some growing crisis, especially amongst men. So today on this call, and I would want to tell all the members from Herbalife family who've joined us, I think it's very crucial for us to recognize that men's health is not solely a personal issue, but a collective concern. It's not that since I'm a male, I need to be focused around this. No. Why? Because even for all the ladies who've joined onto this call, let me tell you, whether it's your husband, father, brother, friend, I think their well-being impacts families and communities alike. So the whole purpose of today's session is to have a very open conversation. As I said, I would reiterate, yes, we are lucky. We have Dr. Sanjay Chore with us. We also have our nutritionist, Dr. Bindushri. And the idea is to look at some proactive health measures and create the awareness through which men become more informed and start prioritizing their health. So let's start. And the first question that I have for our panel is, So, Dr. Sanjay, this is for you. So, what, according to you, are the key pillars of long-term health that every Indian man should focus on? And why do you believe these pillars are essential in the context that I just spoke about? Over to you, doctor.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that question. I would say there are four key pillars of long-term health. I would first of all list physical health. Number two, nutritional health. Number three, mental and emotional health. And last but not the least, sexual and hormonal health. Now, when I talk about these four things, physical, nutritional, mental or emotional, and sexual, you also have to understand that all four of these are somehow connected to each other. They are interdependent. So you can't have one and you can neglect the other three. And if you just go by the ancient, Indian wisdom, they say that to achieve long-term health, you need to focus on, ahar, vihar, vichar, and achar. So ahar is food, nutrition. Vihar is recreation. Actually, sair, that is what vihar means. Vichar is your mental health, your thoughts, and achar is your routine. Because if you don't have a routine, that means you're not doing something daily for yourself, and health does not come suddenly one evening you think about health and the next day you get health. There's another very interesting, English acronym, if you are interested. It says, it makes sense. So sense stands for sleep, exercise, nutrition. The last is stress elimination. So everything actually is interconnected and it boils down to the same basic few things.
Oh, well, Dr. Sanjay, I think that was like you just hit the nail on the head right from the very start. I loved it. So, ahar, vihar, vichar, achar. That's a wonderful way to put it forth. And also, what you just mentioned about the sleep and also stress elimination, which is so very important. And I'm sure Dr. Bindu will also agree with me on this, what Dr. Sanjay beautifully just lamented upon.
True, Kapil, and very truly said Dr. Sanjay, it is very important to all of these parameters, how our nutrition, our stress elimination, our exercise, all of these are interconnected to our health. It's very, very important to keep this balance, because at this point of time in this current generation, we are seeing a lot of health issues, which is because of not keeping our parameters, our key pillars in place, which we are going to talk about a little bit more in our session right now.
Yeah, thank you. So, I just what you just spoke about, Dr. Sanjay and Bindu. These pillars, what you just mentioned, I think they are all interconnected. What you rightly said, because if I neglect even one aspect, it can have an impact on the other. So, say for example, if on a particular night I've had a poor sleep, that will affect my mental health probably the next day, which in turn will influence my physical activity or even my nutrition choices. So it's so very important to strive for balance across these areas, and individual can work accordingly towards a holistic health and a well-being. So true, so true. That was lovely. Dr. Sanjay, we spoke about ahar, we spoke about nutrition. We have been talking about nutrition, balanced nutrition, especially in Herbalife, optimum nutrition. And I do think that one of the important keys happens to be balanced nutrition. But I also want to share with you certain statistics which also talk about that India has the second highest number of overweight or obese adults, which is as per the data of 2021, and wherein some 180 million people are affected. Now, 180 million people, I would want to tell my audience on the who have joined us that it is 18 crore people who are affected, who are in the category of obese or overweight. And there was a study which was found by Lancet, which said that the number of obese that we have it's gonna become almost 2.5 times in the next coming years. So if you can see the slide, here it is. This is exactly what I was mentioning and referring to. You can see for yourself. So that is something which is like pretty big number that we're looking at. So this number could soar to 450 million, which is 45 crore people by 2050. So which is nearly a third of country's projected population. Now, the question that I have, I know Dr. Sanjay and Bindu, we talk about being obese, we talk about being overweight, but we Indians, we love our carb-rich diet. So our GNP philosophy talks about having a 30% protein, 40% carb, 30% fat. But Dr. Sanjay, the moment I get the aroma of somebody preparing samosas, kachori, pav bhajis, somehow my mind wavers and I fall prey to my desire to have these delicacies. So I do understand we are also consuming less of protein and more of carb, which we have seen. But the question that I have today is a bit different. It is more to do with also how we manage our stress, because chronic stress is also not good, because people tend to put on weight, and probably you'll be able to help us understand that. But my question is, there was another study which found out that amongst the Indian men, 12% of Indian men are known for something like a pot belly. They have a pot belly. Earlier, this was a badge of prosperity. People used to say, oh, this person is very prosperous. That's why that person is doing well in his life. That's why that person has got a pot belly. But today, having a pot belly, it's an indication of health dangers which are going to come your way in future. So my question to you is, doctor, as to why this pot belly syndrome, which is noticed in most of the Indian males in particular, if I have to talk about, and how can we mitigate this problem that we have?
Wonderful. So I agree and disagree with your 12% pot belly statistic, because I don't know what parameters they use to identify a pot belly. But there are many more Indians who have something of a belly, which you may not call a pot belly. And the problem with Indians is, on threefold. Number one, we don't have good genes. So our genes are not very good. We are genetically predisposed to having problems which are connected with obesity. And that is why worldwide, if you look at the BMI cutoff, they call it a 25 BMI cutoff for obesity. For South Asia, it has been decided that the cutoff for the BMI should be 23 and not 25. Because at the same weight and same levels of obesity, an Indian will have more health problems as compared to a Caucasian who is the same height, same weight, same BMI. Now, number one is genes. Number two is your diet. Kapil has just said that, something, the smell of frying pakoras or whatever, chole bhature. I think in North India, chole bhature is one of the most attractive snack. Will make you, your resolve will break down. Now, the second thing is diet. We have a very poor diet, and poor diet means it is not as if we can't afford a good diet, but it is the content of our diet is so bad in protein and fiber. They have found that India is one of the least protein consuming countries in the world. And it is not because protein is not available, but it is because we are not aware where to find our protein. That is number one. So genes and diet. And the third one is, of course, our activity. We are one of the laziest countries in the world. Laziest countries. I mean, I often make a joke about the people buying scooties. I think I guess there is no, I have not carried out a survey on this, but 50% of the people who buy scooties is because they don't want to walk into the narrow lanes in their neighborhood. They want to go everywhere on either 2 or 4 wheels. They don't want to walk. So we are one of the laziest countries in the world. So lack of exercise, lack of protein in their diet, and number 3, we are designed to get these problems. Our genes are poor. Now, the problem with your pot belly, by the way, Kapil, is that it is not just fat. Because fat all over the body is not good. But fat on your abdomen, your belly fat, is the worst fat, because this is not just lying, quiet in one corner. It is chemically active. And so it is responsible for inflammation. It is responsible for things like insulin resistance. So diabetes, heart attacks, in subco, you're giving an invitation by having fat on your belly. And that is one of the huge problems that Indians are facing today.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanjay.